Good afternoon. Business is still happening, y'all. We're still in front of these screens. It is the never ending Groundhog Day, but business must go on, especially Black business. Man, we had an amazing expo on February the 18th. It seems so long ago, but really, it hasn't even been a month yet. Dana, how are you feeling?
I'm doing great.
I got to ask, sometimes we just jump into these lives and don't even check on the wellness of the people that we're talking to. But we're going to do some vendor spotlights because it was some amazing vendors. I don't know how many people got to the Black Business Matters Expo, but it was hosted and powered by the Afro-American newspaper, which has been in business for
128 years.
128 years.
129 on August 13th.
I'm your host, Impeccable, and my beautiful wife, Dana Peck, and we're ecstatic. Is that still a word?
It can be.
You can be static. Maybe if we rub together, let's just see. But let's see the electricity that came from that event. It was some great nuggets, and the Afro has kept it open, which we're going to share that information for longer than we thought it would be. Most expos that you used to go to, if you didn't go during the weekend, that was it. But this was our very first virtual expo, Black Business Matters, and it was a wonderful, wonderful event.
Right. And since there were so many speakers and so many vendors, I think it would be kind of difficult to catch everything at one day. And then sometimes you want to go back and say, well, what did they say? We had incredible wealth nuggets from people like Eddie Brown. The keynote speaker, Robert Smith, was amazing. It was a fireside chat with our publisher and CEO, Francis Draper. Other highlights, Dr. Leland Jones, who worked on our mental health, because that has become a huge topic, especially now during quarantine.
Fatigue, screen fatigue, yes. Mind fatigue. If you watch the news, you're going to get anxious. So don't watch the news too much. But anyway.
House fatigue, when you have everybody in the house.
Spouse fatigue.
Time.
No spouse fatigue.
No.
Not you, baby. I love you all the time.
Okay.
Anyway.
You said I was the quarantine
queen. You are the quarantine queen.
Sure.
But let's get to who was our first vendor and person that we'd like to spotlight today.
Oh, yes. So we have Dr. Monica, and I love this quote from her. She's like, a woman should never sacrifice her vim, her vigor, and her vitality. And she doesn't care what stage of life that applies to, right?
Absolutely. Thank you both for having me, providing this opportunity. The Afro has been a staple in my home for many, many, many years. And we're speaking about wealth and health and wellness, and now is the optimal time to jumpstart, kickstart your health. 2020, we talk about perfect vision is 2020. Well, when we look back at the 2020 that we all just experienced, hopefully some introspection was going on and some elevation and some weeding out of toxicity and so forth. So now we have jumped fully 10 toes to the ground to 2021, and we are here with the opportunities for profound change and development. And I'm here to share Dr. Monica's Natural Beauty. My brand empowers women with a special attention to women of color and also the men who love us, empower us to self-love through self-care. All of my recipes are handcrafted. In 2019 and 2020, I was the New and Now It Beauty brand for Macy's. So you could find me in Macy's. In fall of 2021, this year I will hit Nordstrom's. So I am really excited because as communities of color, this is our legacy. This is our wealth. Natural oils, natural herbs, holistic health, holistic healing is a medical science dating back 5,000 years to Africa. So in a lot of our homes, we have these natural remedies. My Nana taught me many, many natural remedies, and she lived to be 101. She just transitioned 2 years ago.
Wow.
And she was not on any prescription meds, no dementia, and was still getting up every morning, doing at least 5 squats every morning and managing her own home, which was 2 stories. Now, looking at her, what excuse do I have, right? I'm in my 40s. So how could I not even follow her path? And one phrase that she used to say was, you have to commence to getting or get got. And so I juggle a lot of things on my plate. I am a medical doctor. My specialty is integrative medicine. I am the proud founder of my award-winning brand, Dr. Monica's Natural Beauty, which you can find at drmonicasnaturalbeauty.com. I am a college professor, and recently, on February 18th, I was inducted as the new president for the Women of Global Change Las Vegas chapter. So that provides a platform and an opportunity for all of us, sisters standing in solidarity of service to the world. And I'm very excited about that. Dana, you happened to mention, I'm working with a group of doctors right now at the School of Medicine at Harvard University, and we are looking at ways to combat pandemic fatigue syndrome. I'm working with a group and also maintain and keep our mental health boosted. A lot of things that my Nana taught me: floral essences, essential oils. I have many perfumes in my web store. You just dab to the temples and you boost your mood. Now, why is that? Because 70% of our emotions are right here in the amygdala part of our brain. And our sense of smell.
Hold on. Say that again. Did you say amygdala? Don't use these words without dropping what it means, okay? Because I'm gonna first to know what is the amygdala. You're gonna learn something today, y'all. Come on, keep going.
The amygdala part of our brain is our frontal lobe. This is where we process our emotions and our emotional responses. So it's not a mystery why right now, because we're living like cave people right now in this whole quarantine thing. So it's no mystery why, with everyone on top of each other, you may look up one day and see someone else new in your household, a fur baby here, a fur baby there, a new person, an in-law, a new husband, a new wife. And so it's no wonder why you might be feeling a little tense, a little irritable, or your temper is short-circuiting. And that's because right here, this part of our brain has gone through an effect like PTSD affects our beloved veterans. So we have been through this pandemic, and we're coming up on this whole year, right? This is the date when everything shut down, March 15th, 2020. So we're coming up on a year of living abnormally, like cave people, and our brains have to adjust. So the amygdala is the part of the brain that we have to make sure that we keep it healthy. And I like to create floral essences, which the aromatherapy, you inhale it first and then you apply it to your temples. If you suffer with migraine headaches, this is wonderful. Dab here, dab right on this amygdala right here. And
is that what you're talking about?
Boosted.
Is this it? The medulla oblongata? No, this can't be
That's
it.
not it.
That's not it. Spell it
That's
for
not
us.
it.
Okay.
The medulla oblongata is not the amygdala.
Okay.
Okay. How do you spell amygdala? Listen, this is the day that the Lord has made. I need to learn today. Come on, Doc.
Amygdala.
Like Amy, and then a G, and then DALA.
AMY.
Why, Amy? Yeah. Okay. G
G.
DALA. I got it. We got it, I think. I
There
think
you
our producers have found it, y'all. You take care of your Amy Cadigula.
Take
Yeah,
care
take
of your
care of that.
amygdala and it will take care of you. And also health nuggets. Listen, it's so easy for us to get stressed out. So, and that starts the cortisol hormone just flaming in our bodies. So what you want to do every morning, here's one health nugget that will keep you your metabolism boosted, your mind clear. You want to drink lemon water when you wake up every morning. So squeeze a half of a lemon in 6 ounces of warm water. Have it by your bedside. Drink that. That detoxes the liver. Now, the liver is the most important organ for keeping our bodies detoxed and cleansed. Why? Because I like to liken it to a garbage disposal. And what happens when you don't flip that switch on the garbage disposal? That's what happens when you don't cleanse your liver daily. So drink that lemon water. You want to also make sure you stay hydrated. We should all be drinking in water half of our body weight in ounces every day. So that varies person by person, but that's how we have to keep our blood oxidized, our lungs free and open, our amygdalas working, and the limbic part of the brain, which is the brain responsible for balancing our hormones, and this is for men and women, balancing our hormones and keeping our heart healthy.
Absolutely. Listen, Doc, you have been amazing. I'm ready to rub whatever we got to order that stuff and rub it on our temples and our foreheads. I mean, we do the aromatherapy, but we're gonna go to your website. We're gonna order some of your products. When you say warm water, do you just mean room temperature water?
Yes, room
Just
temperature water.
room temperature water. We're gonna squeeze some lemons in it, y'all, and we're gonna keep that liver healthy. If you missed the Black Matters Expo, she has Dr. Monica has a wonderful booth there. You can just go right there, bit.ly Afro Expo Center. Just get a username and password. It is free. You can go in, you can see Egypt Sherrod, you can see Eric the hip hop preacher, you can see billionaire Robert Smith, and many, many others. Brian Olds of the Black Speakers Network. One nugget can change your life and your business, whether you're emerging or accelerating. All you need is an idea that can change and move your business forward. Go visit the vendors. It's free. Go into the exhibition hall, into the lobby, wander around, binge, should we say. You've binging everything else, binge something for your business. And we're going to have you on Dr. Monica, maybe on some of our other streams. But we just wanted to spotlight you today and say thank you for being part of the inaugural Black Business Matters Expo. And when we're in Vegas, we're going to look you up, okay?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to
Look
you
me up. And thank you for this amazing opportunity and many blessings and joy to you both.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. You learned, I can't even say the name.
Amygdala.
All right. I'm going to look to you whenever I want to say that. You learned about the amygdala today. Anyway, and the Black Business Matters Expo had some nuggets. I didn't even get a chance to get into that booth, but I'm glad we had Monica on. Dr. Monica, she was amazing. Just if you didn't take anything from that, just on your health nugget, on getting your liver together and getting your mental together as we move forward. Okay.
And I thought it was interesting also that she remembered, although she lives on the West Coast, what did they say? They thought it not robbery to support the Afro, get a booth at this expo, because she remembers growing up reading the paper or seeing her parents read it. She had worked in the DC market for some time. So we have a strong legacy with the paper, and we want to encourage you to share this broadcast as well as the content on afro.com. Help us continue to expand our reach. Even though you live on the West Coast, this information is still relevant, and it's important to us to sustaining our efforts because we are still here. And Kevin's great-great-great-great-grandfather founded this paper in 1892 with $200 from his wife. Well,
some people say it was a loan, and some people say once the money's in the family, it's ours. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to say that part.
What part are you going to say?
I'm saying that he was probably like over dinner or maybe in bed. He's like, hey, I got an idea. She's like, do you know that only 2% of African Americans can read? What do you think you're doing? He's like, I'm a visionary, baby. Come on, can't you see it? I'm going to have something for our children's children. And that's what we are instructed to do in the Bible. So 5 generations later,
128 years.
we're still here.
Absolutely.
And thank you that you're still here watching.
And we still have the Legacy Edition, the newspaper. Go to afro.com. Listen, we've moved from subscribers to members because times have changed, y'all. For less than 2 Uber Eats, you can have this digital version of the Afro coming to you. Now, if you love paper, we have the legacy version and the digital version for about $100 a year. But not only does it support the Black press, who can't be bought by Fox or anybody else, and we're going to give you the real that comes from the Black community. Also, you're helping new and future writers, bloggers, videographers. It costs money to pay for people to get the news. It just doesn't happen automatically. And guess what? We don't want to go outside of our community to ask. And sometimes you have to, but we're asking, okay? There's the ask. Go to afro.com. So hopefully in 128 years, we can still continue to tell our story. Because when we look back to some of the stories from 50, 60 years ago, they are parallel to the same stories that are happening and the treatment that's happening now. It's just we didn't have the way to get the information fast, but now we do. So let's move on. Man, go to Black Business Expo. Shoo, man, let me pull it up. But we got a good friend. We're gonna call him a family member. Mr. Byron Deese, how are you, sir?
Good afternoon. How you guys doing?
Fine. We are still trying to come up with the how do you say it again?
Amygdala.
Amygdala. Yeah, somebody said put it in the chat. We like to thank Antoine, Jay, Jewel hanging out with us, Woodfin, Leonard Johnson is hanging out. Of course, we got Rico and many others. Put in the chat if you went to the Black Business Matters Expo where we had billionaire Robert Smith. And if you'd like to go, guys, we have made it free for you.
Still there.
And we've kept the vendors up there. Okay. We're doing a vendor spotlight because it was, after a while, I'm going to be real. I don't want to go into another virtual conference and after being on Zoom all day. And I work, I'm not saying that it's not great information, but I'm saying I don't feel like it. Sometimes you want to walk away from your screen, your phone, everything. People like, I called you, I texted you. I know you saw your phone. No, you didn't, because I threw it in the closet. I did not see it. I want to unplug from you for just a minute, Byron. You know what I mean? But great thing about technology is, just like Netflix, you can go back and you can watch it when you want to. That doesn't mean the information was powerful.
Yes.
It was super powerful. And Byron, I'll let you just introduce to the world who you are. I feel like your family and just what you do. And then let's just continue the conversation and have a good time as we spotlight you and all the contributions you make, not only to the community, but to the world at large, now that we're digital.
Yeah, I got it. Well, I'm Byron Deese, financial advisor with Glass Jacobson Financial Group. I just got to tell you, the Black Business Matters conference was one of the most impactful and necessary conferences that provided not only great content for entrepreneurs, but for guidance into the future. I mean, to be able to have, I would say in that first hour, direct access to Robert Smith, who's the wealthiest African-American in the country, followed by Eddie Brown, who's a hero of mine from Florida, as I am. He actually grew up about 25 miles away from my hometown.
Shout out to Florida. What's your home?
Shout out to Florida. Shout out to Sanford, Florida.
Shout out to Tuskegee too.
Shout out to Tuskegee, definitely. And it was just, and so it was interesting. So the following week, there was another economic conference that was held by Baltimore Young Professionals called the Collective Economic Conference. Eddie Brown popped in on that conference, which was another great conference with the young professionals. And he just lauded the Black Business Conference with the Afro and talked about just how surprised he was to be able to get access to the mind of Robert Smith. And I walked away from that conference very empowered to be able to, as we kind of stand in the middle of this historic moment that we're in as it relates to racial equity, as we're sitting in the middle of a pandemic. But what does that actually mean? Not just from a health perspective and a social perspective, but even from an economic and financial perspective, these waves that happen. And I think it's important when we think about economics and finance, that especially if you're either starting businesses or if you're an investor and looking to take advantage of these waves that happen. And we're living in the middle of a wave. And so the question is, what do you do with your money during these waves?
Right.
And it's just, you think about these companies who have helped us to get through the coronavirus and this year of this pause period, like the fact that I never knew StreamYard existed. The fact that, say this time last year, what was StreamYard? And think about the people who own stock if they're publicly traded in StreamYard and these technological type platforms, Zoom. Now they got us through the pandemic, and those who invested in those tech relative companies really benefited because their stock price just increased throughout that time. But now as we start thinking about a vaccinated economy, and what does that look like? And which companies who were doing really well, say January, February 2020, but took a massive crash because of the virus, how do you prepare for those businesses and them coming back into their former strength and valuation? And so just being aware and being prepared and making sure we're governing our dollars associated with the swings that are happening in the market right now. But it's just a revolutionary time. It's a very exciting time. And I hope that we are really taking a second to not miss out on these markets and these opportunities to really add value to your overall asset position.
So Byron, so the services that your company provides, is that for individuals or is that for companies and I want to thank you first though for serving on as an advisory member of our conference, our expo. So because of contributions of people like you that helped it make such a success. So thank you again for your effort.
Yeah, and within our firm, so we're a tax, accounting, and investment advisory firm. And so we work with individuals, but we also work particularly with business owners. The development and the group that I oversee is really kind of the family CFO services, if you will. So working directly with business owners and really helping them to navigate their financial life. One, being able to use the services that we have in-house to provide the necessary, professional services, accounting services, tax services for their business and their investments for their overall portfolio. But at the same time, doing what we do for everybody, helping you prepare for retirement and how to take those assets that you've earned over the years and now allow them to help you to retire from day-to-day work and day-to-day going into the rat race that we get caught up in, and create what a future life looks like for you and how you're going to fund it, how you're going to fund your lifestyle. And so really just being able to leverage the financial, the tax, the accounting, the bookkeeping, and retirement and investment services for families and individuals. And so it's a lot of fun. This is a for us, this is a kind of a once in a lifetime period that we're in. And everything is changing every day. We're looking under the hood at all these different companies and how those businesses can play a greater role in our overall financial objective and financial plan. So definitely reach out to us. You can contact us on our email, or you can contact me directly at byron.deese@glassjacobsonia.com. Go to our website at glassjacobson.com to learn more about those services. This is again, if you haven't taken a second just to kind of look under the hood and see what's going on with your financial life, this is a great time to do it. It's tax time also. That's usually another good time to say, well, what else is going on? How are my investments? Who are my beneficiaries? Factoring in estate planning. So there's a lot that you need to kind of do those annual financial audits. This is a great time to do it. And please feel free to reach out. Be more than happy to kind of guide through that process with you.
Absolutely. We are, we try to simplify this address. It looks like, thank you, Jay, for bringing it to our attention that the site is.
That's interesting. Though when I click here, I think it's the slash maybe.
You mean we try to give Black folks some information about their business, about their finance, about, just taking it to the next level, and all of a sudden, today, the site is not where we want to come up with another address while we're on here. I have
the direct link. I'm going to put in the comments.
I'll put the direct link in because Bitly. Anyway, we march on and move forward, Byron. I mean, I think just if you haven't thought about what do you say to a person who hasn't put a plan together for their finances yet?
Most people haven't, and that's just the truth, and so I just think that, I've had conversations with people who are very wealthy who haven't thought about the assets that they have above what their lifestyle. So you think about people who have these large businesses, they sell their company for X amount of dollars, but they like the way they live. They live, say, on, $200,000 a year, but their company, they just sold the business for $25 million. What are you going to do with that money? And some of them have no kids. They don't plan to leave it to anybody. And so you think about those type situations, but then you have to think about the average everyday person who, earns $100,000 a year, has 3 kids, plan to get them through school. They're taking a look at their current expenses and trying to figure out how can I, they don't have a business to sell, so how are my contributions going to play a role in their ultimate retirement? These are the conversations we need to have. We need to have it with people who can kind of have experience in ask them the right questions to help you get there. And so I tell you, please take advantage of this opportunity. And if it's not with me, with someone else who's in the retirement planning space, just to help you kind of uncover some things you may not have thought about. And like I said, it's tax time anyway, so you may as well.
Yeah, we got to plan something because we're not going to pay you when you just put that GoFundMe up. And I know, listen,
that's his pet peeve.
Listen, we can't bury all your whole family for you. We got our own family to bury.
I know.
You can plan for any of it. Now's the time. This is your moment to be on here. If you just got on this is the Afros Change. Share this information. We have the right address. Go to Easy Expo, who is our business partner out of Silicon Valley. They came up with this platform during the pandemic, and they partnered with the Afro at the Afro Expo Center. We tried to use Bitly. Bitly, you're done. Okay, we got to cancel Bitly, y'all.
Oh, no.
Don't cancel. Cancel. Anyway,
create our own.
We'll create our own. But anyway, people like to copy and paste things, but you can do it. Afro, it's right there in the chat. But y'all, come on, you got to put something away. It's not just about you. In 2020, we said stop being selfish.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was consistent with our 2 guests. It just happened that we're focusing on our health and our wealth, investing in ourselves. And I liked what Dr. Monica said. What'd she say? Her nanny said, or her nana said, commence to getting before you get got. But right. I mean, that would apply here too, right?
I love it. Commence to getting before you get got.
That's what her nana said, right?
Right.
Everybody's
I love them nana.
If you got a nana, put a 1 in the chat if you got a nana who was wise and told you some things that have stuck with you throughout this.
We got to commence to planning before we get got too, right? Yeah. I mean, that's what you're saying essentially too.
And I'm gonna tell you one other thing real quickly. Is I just don't want us to be in a situation where we're kind of spectating. We're watching, we're hearing about things, and then we're talking about things that we heard about, and nobody's in the game. It's like, well, did you hear about this? And I bet if they did that, let's get in the game. This market is a free enterprise system, and we can talk about how this person got me on this, and the white man won't let me. Listen, get in the game, and this is a free enterprise system. And if you have a couple dollars. And I didn't say $1 million. I said a couple dollars. Put them in the game. And so this is a good time. I mean, there's no better time than now, but get in the game. I love it. I'm going to use that going forward. It commits to getting or get got.
That is your new financial plan.
Get in the game. Right. Don't be a spectator.
Don't be a spectator.
Right. Or get GoFunded, which may not happen. Okay. may not happen for you. This is the
Man.
Afro-American newspaper. We're talking about the Black Business Matters Expo. And when you get a billionaire to contribute his time, which he said he used to read the Afro as a young man as well. And his dad used to send it to him by mail.
Yes.
Now that's incredible because he was in Colorado, where I don't even know if they had a black paper back 128 years ago. But he made sure that his son had the information that was impactful, informative, and educational to the community that was important to him. And so when a billionaire decides to do something important to you, and if you're in business or not in business, it is always a good moment to listen. So if nothing else, go see the fireside chat with our own CEO of the Afro, Dr. Francis Draper, Dr. Francis Tony Draper, and Robert Smith as they chop it up about business. And he lent his time because he's thought it not robbery. Once you're doing well, then you can do good for somebody, right?
That's right.
But you really can't help nobody out when you don't have no money. When you don't have, I mean, you can give them some information and some inspiration, but just like when they come to the church and they're like, I'm gonna pray for you, but I'm hungry right now. Like the prayer gonna come down and feed me at this moment. Maybe after I get rid of this 3-day hunger headache, then we can have a conversation. So you got to have something to help somebody get to the next level. Not to come to try to pimp people of God just because you think they're going to give you a handout. But no, it's going to be times that your resources and the money that you have are going to be able to move the needle forward, not only for yourself, for your family, but for someone else. And that's what the Black Business Matters Expo, we want to move the needle forward for Black business, for us doing business with each other. But we got to do it excellent. We can't, we can't be with the GGA on the end of it. We can't be those kind of people, you know what I mean? Because we all have met the business people who got the GGA on the end of how they do it. And you don't even want to be with them. And you're like, look, I'm calling the one that has the IGO on it. With the first name initial AM. Okay, if we can spell, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Do your job with excellence. Byron is one who he gives excellent financial advice, not because he's trying to make a commission. He's trying to make a difference and an impact, not only on himself, his family, but on the community.
Yeah, and invest time to help us, the Afro.
Right, the investment of time, right? So let's get educated. Let's not be always late to the party, y'all. Let's get to the party early, get the plan together, and you can say, wow, that guy is retired at 40. At 50.
That's right.
You know, he's put his plan together, and whether you want to be on the beach, up in the mountains, or in the hood, wherever you want to be, but you can determine your day not based on somebody else's time and somebody else's dream that you're going to build every day, but based on your plan. All right. Give me a success nugget, Byron, and then we can get out of here, man. You know we love you. We can talk to you for an hour and a half.
I know, but I gotta say this. I am what originally led me to, and I would say God kind of led me to the Afro and to get involved is the history of this company and what it means. So you think about somebody, a Black man who starts a business in the 1800s with majority of people, Black people who couldn't read at the time. That's vision.
Yeah.
That's someone who's an innovator, someone who's thinking into the future. If you create something now, it could have, longevity. And so those are the types of people that created the lanes for people like Robert Smith, all these great business owners, all these great titans. And it inspires people like myself who are looking for ways to make economics make sense to everybody. And a newspaper business that everybody's trying to get access to the information. That's a practical business that makes sense. And whether it be through, digital space or if it's through the paper, it makes sense to get the information, the right type of information. So I'm just more excited about what this company is doing, what it's done over the past 100 and almost 30 years now, and looking into the future. And as we continue to empower Black people and empower Black business owners. So couldn't be more excited than I am right now.
Thank you, Byron.
Anything else you want to say? Because we got a staff meeting in a minute on Zoom. Like, oh no, Not another thing. But listen, the vendor spotlight, man, you are awesome, Byron. You are always supporting us, and when you put the heart in the chat or the fist in the chat, it means a lot to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody else out there, thank you for tuning in. And we can feel you, but we can't, we can't physically hug you, but we can get that virtual hug in. And
That's right.
Feel free to share. Somebody doesn't know about the Afro.
That's right.
Somebody has never heard of us, even though we've been around 128 years. And so it's our job as the African American community to share businesses that are impactful and effective in our community. And we want to be part of your story. And thank you for being part of our story. Look forward as we do different things. Just like us. It doesn't take, this is the no money ask. Like us on Facebook, like us on IG. We just hit the 10K or past the 10K, which they said less than 8% ever get over 10K. We've done that in a short 2 years because of you guys. Because see, once you get that 10K, you can post stories right in your right on your IG
and post links so people can
click right
up.
and can get right to afro.com. So all of that helps. All of that matters. We're interested in what you're doing. If you got a breaking news story, editor@afro.com, editor@afro.com. We're going to be the voice for the voiceless. We're going to use our platform to amplify whatever concern that we need to amplify so that we're not forgetting. They may forget, but guess what? We can get $1 trillion spending power. We can figure this out, y'all, and put our own business together. Let's move to Nebraska. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, take our money and go do our thing, if so be it. But support Black business, y'all. And if you are working somebody else's dream and you really want to do your own thing, begin to work on yours. Turn off Netflix and the TV and work on your dream after you work on the person's dream that you go into from 9 to 5. So until we meet again, Byron, always a pleasure to have you.
Always good. Everybody become a member. Become a member. Become a member of the Afro.
Yes.
So important.
Thank you.
$40.
That's it.
2 Uber Eats. You know what I mean? Let's do it, y'all. Come on, let's keep it because we want the young talent to flow through so they can have their say. Hey, when no other organization would give me an opportunity as a journalist or videographer or blogger to work in a news organization, the Afro's doors will be open for you. And that's what your support does and helps as we move the next generation. Thank you, everybody. Antoine, let's see. Antoine, you dominated. We need to send the person who comments the most. Dr. Monica's still out there hanging out with us. Jay, thank you. Samuel. Who else? Jewel hanging out.
Amygdala.
If you missed that and you just tuned in, you got to look back to see what I'm going to call it the Amy Dollar. All right.
Amy Dollar.
I know how to spell it, but it's saying it is just, Black people don't say that. We don't say that ever without thinking our whole lifetime, except Dr.
We're going to bring Byron back because when we have more time, we're going to address the question that Antoine just raised. How can we break the institutionalized poverty mental cycle? That's the question we need to work on with our people. So let's think about that.
Thank you, Antoine. That's mindset.
Let's do a whole show on that.
That's Mindset University, baby. It starts with you. It starts with you. We can't do it because everybody don't want to think alike. Everybody don't even want to take the vaccine, right? So that could possibly kill this situation. Yeah. You know what I mean? But your mindset and your family, and then your family expands. But be the king and queens of your household. Absolutely. And start with the mindset of what you teach your kids. And it might be you. Your thinking might be stinking, and you stinking up the whole house. Right. You gotta get your mind right to go. Anyway, I'm about to get on the soapbox. Anyway, we'll see you. We have the chicken box, y'all, on Thursday, and that's where we really act the fool and act serious at the same time. But man, I don't want to get off, but I am because I don't want to be late for this meeting. So until we meet again, thanks for tuning in and share this broadcast. Have a great day, everybody.